consistently in the same position, which will help you play more consistently as well. Something I try to do also. But yeah, I tend to turn the lights off these days. Envy will be starting on the CT side of Nuke. 4 sets of Kevlar for them. Legia's got a smoke and a diffuse kit. Meanwhile, Mibr have got a lot of smoke grenades.
3 to be precise. Couple of HE grenades as well. I'll be interested if those are stacked in the same spot. Maybe they're kept even for the post plant, especially because if someone's going to try ninja with the kit, if you get those nades on him, he's not going to have Kevlar, most likely. So that could be fun to watch out for. Smoke already down. Leo leading the charge, as he often does for this Mibr team. And the smoke into heaven has actually netted them this free bomb site. No kills, but here comes Nifty in from above. The fight's going in favor of Mibr. Back to a 3v3. Now those smokes are fading, and it's all on TRK. He gets wiped out, and Envy get locked out of the site initially by the smokes, but they just push through.
Start as you mean to proceed. Envy will certainly do that. Brute force into the A bomb site, and they will be successful for now. That is a very big, quick 2K from Mibr. I'm really surprised Envy were able to turn it around after that, but here we go. Mihu's he's a good player to watch demos of on the CT side. Lots you can learn from his positions. Got some nifty smoke grenades, no pun intended. We'll see what he's able to do. He'll be over towards the ramp for the time being, creating some space. This is a full investment from Mibr. Always interesting to see if the sniper fully invests into the force buy as well, and on this occasion they will. You can see Nifty on the radar is outside with the scout. The bomb's made its way downstairs, so there should be some bonus money. Nifty wasn't outside for long though, was he? KNG has popped him in the head.
Wow, bomb already planted down on that lower site as well. That's putting the pressure on Envy here. They actually don't have a kit right now. That could be a problem for them as this round progresses. Legia gets 1 kill back. Mihu and Calyx combining. Calyx steals both those kills, and it's a nice quick retake from Envy. They find all the fights they need, so even though they concede the bomb plant, they pretty handily win this retake. For Mibr, they did fully force into that round, but now that they get the bomb planted, I think we can see some sort of investment into this next one. Potentially a couple of pistols. You can see the money is decent on the Mibr side, so I'd expect some more pistols to be bought. But yeah, quick bomb plant for Mibr. A quick cleanup for Envy, though. They were pretty fast on this rotation, and there's Calyx arriving, lining up those 2 kills. Those ones really made the difference.
Clean 2-0 for Envy. The SMGs will be able to play close quarters. Legia and Thomas. Still interesting to see Legia back on the servers. See how he's able to perform today. He actually taught me how to take short B as a CT. Amongst other things on Overpass. I should mention the map. So he's definitely one of the nerds in terms of utility and such. But again, the question is, will he be sharp enough for the likes of Mibr, who have shown promise in some maps, of course. A long road ahead of them. Desert Eagles and not much Kevlar in round number 3. Bomb plant was pretty solid in the round prior, which will help them in the next buy round. Now, if they could get another bomb plant, that would be fantastic. However, we can see that 2 players have made their way downstairs. That does not include the bomb right now.
Considering the lack of utility Mibr had in this round, this is pretty impressive to get some players down to this lower site. And looking at Envy, they really haven't reacted to that at all. Look at the minimap. No one's down on this lower side of the map. Now, obviously, they have to make a sound cue to actually get towards that B site. But this ramp play, only 1 kill would be needed to get them towards B.
Oh, but will they lose the bomb? TRK, I mean, that's $4,000 if they can plant that bomb. And now he's in a 1 versus 1, and that's a big objective lost. I don't think they wanted to risk going outside with the bomb after 2 of their players made their way down secret. And I feel like maybe the players without the bomb had to make a play there. They could have sandwiched the ramp players by making their way up from the B bomb site. So I feel like that was a little more disjointed than it needed to be, because that's a huge objective for them. So a lot of opportunity lost in this round for Mibr. But the main focus is on the next round. Oh god, Lucas has died after time as well. So he starts the buy round with 2250. There was so much potential. That's a really horrible way to finish it.
Yeah, that is rough. KNG's not even going to get the AWP out either, which is another thing that the desk were really pointing out. I think this is probably KNG's best map in this current iteration of MIBR. He's shown a lot of success on it early, oftentimes just getting picks for his team as well, over towards Yard on this T side. I think that's been pretty instrumental for MIBR's T side of this map. So not having that AWP, big issue. Not having a gun for Lucas, obviously a problem as well. He only gets a P250 into this round. But MIBR are going to start to run some of their set plays. All three smokes at the same time towards Yard. And this is what MIBR like. Ooh, actually, have those smokes gone exactly where they wanted? I'm not sure. There is a bit of a gap.
Oh dear. That's a problem. It's like a Mickey Mouse outside.
Oh, and they're trying to fake it as well. They're trying to fake the Yard play and just stick in lobby. But Envy aren't going to fall for this now.
Oh, yeah, but will they be able to get into position in time? I think they are expecting a B play with extra players towards the ramp, but they do have 3 on the A bomb site as well.
Oh my!
Legia's going to get barbecued though, as is Thomas. Well, that's an interesting turn of events. Nifty still on the high ground, backing off now because support has suddenly disappeared. What a strange round so far. 1 minute on the clock and suddenly MIBR, after a failed fake outside, we presume, Disney smokes. They make their way with a double Molotov entry into the A bomb site, and it looks like Envy is saving.
I've got to have a look at those mollies again. I think Thomas was at the back of the silo on the site, and I think the molly pinned him up against the wall and then just slowly spread to him. And then Legia, we saw on top of Hut, just could not get off that position. He was completely clueless as to where he could go. Now we get some fights at the end of the round. Mihu and Calyx just hoping to save their guns. Mihu has started strong, as has Calyx in this game. Calyx is going to upgrade to the AWP. I hope we get to see those mollies again on the replay. Obviously, that's what won MIBR the round. But I'm not sure if it was MV just mispositioning or whether it was some really nice molly work. So there we go, top of the hut. God, there's so many mollies there. Yeah. And then, yeah, Thomas just must have died at the back of the site, I guess.
Yeah, he was so blind. It's pretty hard to blind somebody in that position as well if they're looking straight down. So that's quite impressive. It's quite impressive production saying a Heaven Molotov. Well, there we go. That's one way to take the A-bomb site, that's for sure. MIBR on the board now. I sincerely hope we see some correct smokes on this occasion. There we go.
They might not have seen that the smokes were bad last time. That's the scary thing. I can't think that that's what they want, is it?
There's no way. Well, TRK can now identify... Oh, God. I don't know, but let's see. Well, there's another smoke outside, so that's definitely patching a hole. That's a strange one to forget, but...
I think they want that first smoke to be way closer to Mini, right? To be able to cross down, which is what MIBR have been running in a lot of their games.
They're all in the same place, so maybe they can fix it quickly. I've got a note about Team Liquid's old HQ, the setup they had, but first we'll see how this round plays out. Maybe a numbers game. Nifty trying to do some area control with the Molotov. He's seen one on the left. His vision's obscured to the right, but there's the bomb dropped. 46 seconds, looking for the second kill. 3 on 4 in favor of Envy. We see one by Deacon for MIBR. How do they get onto the site? They used all their smokes to fix the problems outside. They have no way to plant the bomb really on this side, or do they? We've got a molly to force the AWP away. 32 seconds to plant the bomb, and they're still just trying to poke and prod, show a bit of elbow, but not too much flesh. Nifty misses a shot. 26 seconds. Another very awkward round, and they will get the bomb plant for the Deacon door. Somehow.
Legia just now arriving on the rotate. 3 players at ramp, but VSM is getting aggressive. And he's got the first headshot. Switching to the AWP. Close quarters, but his teammates got the kill. Finally, TRK will get a trade from the back lines, but it's Legia closing the distance, and Lucas has to clutch. Molly for the bomb is going to buy a lot of time, and they're going to have to hunt him. They're going to have to push. Lucas has got the first kill. Team damage from Mihu in the mix, and now it's a 1v1. Lucas throwing out the nade. Time still ticking away. Mihu has been spotted, and Lucas wins the round.
There is so much that just happened. There's so much that just went on there. There was a late swing from Legia. There was a chance for them to swing and go for the trade kill, but I don't know if he was trying to catch the player with a grenade in his hand or off guard, but again, we got the Mickey Mouse smokes outside, which forced them to go towards B with no smokes, because ideally you drop the smoke in front of double doors and you plant in the smoke, like as a worst case scenario plant, because of course people can try to spray you Very, very ropey stuff. So Team Liquid's old place in Santa Monica, above every player's desk, there was a display of the coach computer. So if they needed to like do a pause and show a grenade mid-round, he could do it and say, okay, this is how you line it up. This is how you would quickly fix something like that. Or maybe use a map and draw a map and say, okay, we're going to do this, blah, 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 blah. Which is pretty cool. I don't know how much they used it with all the travel that pro players do. But that was the idea of that was really awesome. That might be a cool thing to have on lands in the future as well. Well then, Envy find themselves on eco territory. Lucas will back off, not wanting to concede a rifle. Envy small weakness, and off they go. Surely here's the running. Now he dives. He's got help from the squeaky area as well. Nifty's also here. So where Nifty is standing is the common anti-eco position. So if there is a rush, then you can deal with that and fall back if you need to. So that's where you can expect people to stand if they think the CTs are going to try and rush them or something. Some very bizarre rounds early on in Nuke, but maybe now things will stabilize. KNG with the AWP.
I think this is the kind of game I was expecting as well, and this is part of the reason why I did end up picking Mibr, is because even though they did lose those very one-sided maps against Big, I just think that Big are a team that are so difficult to play, especially when you haven't had that much practice, right? They're such a well-structured team, they're such a well-oiled machine, that if you're a new team going up against Big, you're going to have a really tough time on the maps that Big are really good on. And I don't really think Mibr need to be too worried about losing both those maps 16-2. I think against a team like Envy, it's going to come much more down to individual skill, where I think Mibr can definitely put up a good fight. And some early Yard smokes have been deployed. I think this time the smokes at Yard are successful, so they're able to sell the fake. And now they're going to start coming back to ramp. Mihu gets the kill through the smoke. That's the bomb.
It really is. Oh, they're lining up for him, and it's 2 more for Mihu. That's exactly what Envy needed. Some difficult recent rounds, but my God. Mibr maybe scared that utility would force them away from the bomb yet further. Another calamity. This time not in their favor. I can't see them turning this one around. 2 versus 5. Lucas has collected the bomb. Nifty up close with the M4A4. There may be an AWP to collect later. You can see Mibr just holding position for now. Only person moving on the map is Calix. Everybody else fine as they are. Nifty sees it, but he can't deal with Lucas. Where is Mihu though? 1 more to find, and perhaps there's an opportunity for Lucas. 1 versus 3. KNG's been popped. Decon, got to be careful. Door's been opened. Spotted Legia, showing a little too much. 19 seconds as he rotates towards the A bomb site. We've got Thomas out of position. Is he going to say hello? Oh, 4x3, surely. We just saw a smidgen of Thomas there. Flashbang, maybe he did see something. Lucas. Thomas gets there in time though, chases him. Oh, so I feel like every round has been awkward in like 5 different ways.
There we go. This time, they were good. I like how that's having to be a consistent storyline. Can they do the smokes right? Yeah, it's been a weird start to this game. Lucas has definitely been put in pretty good roles on this Mibr squad. I was thinking he'd be much more of just a kind of glue guy, like a role player for Mibr, but I think he's getting the opportunity to try and put himself in some good spots. That probably comes back to how Mibr have been playing as well, where a lot of the players have the freedom to call things for themselves. Kogu was saying that they're trying to make sure everyone's comfortable and everyone can come to the table with ideas. And we've got that AWP out for KNG now. We heard the Dets talk about how good he can be on this map. So far, we haven't really got the chance to see it because he hasn't had the AWP too much. So hopefully this is where that can change.
That was a fortune round for Envy with the lineup for Mihu. I would like to see more data on how well they can defend on this map. There's such a lack of utility for both teams right now. So again, Mibr with a focus on the outside. But how on earth do they get to Secret?
Yeah, they needed KNG to get a pick there to make it a possibility. That's what they were relying on, but the pick at ramp could make all the difference. Now Nifty has to cover this off. Now they have to leave Yard a little more susceptible, and we're already seeing that wrap down to the B site. The question is, can the bomb get to B? Because it's still at Yard.
Oh God, this is so awkward. It reminds me of the Eco round where, again, it's the bomb that's got to make it there. Nifty, very patient on spot TRK as well, but he's still alive, but he's seen the bomb. Calix had to get that. That was surely a round-winning frag, and now Thomas has a lot to do. Trying to find the 1v1, trying to isolate the fights, he will, but he won't get a kill onto Leo Drunky, swinging as Leo often does. The reset is coming for Envy unless Legia can do something about it. We'll see if he even goes for it. He's got a defuse kit. May feel compelled to, but not really pressing forward right now, so perhaps he'll hold on to the rifle. Don't think he'll find the AWP either. Seems difficult for both squads. I feel like Mibr in a number of rounds have been in very difficult situations, often self-inflicted, but still somehow come out with the round. You see KNG jumping on a box outside. Feels like they were, well, I guess forced into a somewhat puggy approach with basically 0 grenades. I think I saw a decoy and that was it at some point in that round. But here they are.
I am also a bit confused as to why you wouldn't just boost KNG up there, because it looked like he was just jumping up by himself,
yeah.
which is just ridiculous that you think that's going to work. But this Mibr squad have the players to make plays, and I think something that I really noticed when watching the TRK demo I watched yesterday is that he is so good on those trade kills. That's really, I think, the value he brings to this team. He's so good at knowing exactly how to space himself, where to position himself so that he can trade his teammates, and he did that there. He traded onto Nifty, made sure that they could wrap into that A site more easily. And then that swing onto the second player was just absurd, but that's the skill that TRK has, cracking open that round for his team. Now, Legia with the one rifle has positioned himself in quite an active area of the map, looking to see if he can get involved early, jumping up himself. He spotted VSM, but VSM is one step ahead of him. The rifle dropped, and I doubt Envy are going to get that back. It's up on top of the red container.
Yeah, no boosting again, which may have offered a cleaner opportunity. So Mibr may just give Envy some time to hang themselves here. Some jiggling seen by VSM, making that $ count. Thomas Nard, last man with a USP, takes an off angle for main or mini, depending on your region. Mibr being so careful. 5v1, 4 of them together. They'll move into the A site. There we go, last 1 to 4. Mibr being careful, nothing wrong with that. Not offering any mistakes. Well then, been a difficult CT side for Envy after the initial start. Again, they won the pistol and didn't lose to a force buy. So if we ignore the first 3 rounds, you've got that round from Mihu on the ramp where 2 players lined up as they went through a smoke. Normally, players would go either side to avoid that exact scenario, but again, that's not a round which is replicable, so we haven't really seen too much from Envy just yet in terms of some round wins. Now, Mibr very quickly outside, a variation on their smokes. And just like that, they're downstairs. Oh my god, they were lining up for Lucas almost. 1 for 1. Bomb makes its way down late as well, which is something to keep an eye on. Mibr often have the bomb making its way late, which is fine, but it has been awkward in multiple situations already.
Envy have pushed all the way through lobby here, so they know it's B. They're 100% sure it's this B site they've lost. The problem is, right now, there's no kit for Envy, and they also don't really have... How's this bomb taking so long to get planted, though? That's my question. Finally, it goes down. This could work out. Oh, VSM eventually gets the kill up close, and with Leo finding a follow-up frag, that might be it. Mihu's landed another shot, though. These are meant to be the 2-star players on the Envy side, but it's so difficult to get back into the bomb site. Without the kit, they're going to have to save. Yeah, it's been real difficult for them. That round felt like it was on fast forward, apart from the bomb plant. Well, an AWP, again, a lot can be done with it in the rounds to come. Well, the next round, rather. If they can find some way to get an entry, that would be fantastic for Envy. But I would imagine that Mibr will probably go slow and expect this if they know that the AWP is still on deck. I think they look to dry Envy out a little bit before they make a play. Some wild plays with the AKs so far from Mibr, and they are being successful. That's why you got to be careful with your tracers close to a smoke. Well then, 3 rounds in a row for Mibr. We'll see if they can keep it up. All eyes on Nifty as he has got to do something with this AWP. Looks like he'll be going towards the ramp. Nope, going to be upstairs instead. And Nifty's had the AWP a couple of times now, and we haven't seen the impact we need to see with it. Especially because now Nifty on this team isn't calling anymore. From what we've heard, apparently Legia's taken back over as the in-game leader role. And Nifty said he's kind of doing more co-leading stuff, is the way he was putting it. So I think that's more chiming in every now and then with some ideas, keeping the morale high for the team. That was a T-sided smoke from Mibr through the squeaky door, which meant that Nifty couldn't get the chance for an opening kill, but he's finally got it. VSM taken out of the action. TRK wrapping though, they're not ready. Oh, one kill in the back, but Calix gets the trade, and now Legia has to go forwards, but they're not ready. Headshot for Legia, second kill for Legia, doing the damage and putting them down and out. KNG's the only man left.
Yeah, he hasn't gone too far, Legia. With only KNG left. I thought there might be some movement to try and figure out where he is, but he's found too quickly. He's got a minute on the clock to clutch KNG now. All of a sudden, things have really escalated. Oh, you got to be nervous now if you're an Envy fan. Taking some shots towards the hut. Legia is there. Picked up a rifle. 38 seconds. Footsteps being heard. Got to be real careful about these grenades. Out comes Thomas with the CZ. Picked the right time. And they will capitalize on their advantage.
Yeah, this is definitely what I was expecting out of the game. I'd say sloppy Counter-Strike at times, but Legia finds the timing window. Really nice second shot. And then even that KNG's given these two fights shouldn't really be happening. But that's kind of what you expect almost from this MV lineup, being quite new and having players from all over the world. You're going to get that to begin with. We've seen it with teams like OG, who have taken so long to get to the point where they feel like they're finally hitting their stride. And even they lost against Gen.G. So who even knows if that's true at this point?
Yeah, I'm still favoring Mibr to win the majority of the remaining rounds. Again, if we look at the nature of the rounds that Envy have won, there isn't much to go on for the future rounds, whereas Mibr have just been basically wide swinging and trade fragging and such, using their numbers where necessary, and coming out on top. 6 rounds of 11, pretty good for the T side. Initial smokes are up. That's the last one for the CT side. Mibr just waiting out the utility. You can see the off angle from Mihu as Nifty will essentially work as bait. Misses his shot, lost his position now. Try to show some more presence, delay a little bit longer. And this may work out well because there are 47 seconds on the clock and Mibr are still in the lobby and such.
Real shame that that smoke doesn't extinguish the molly there. Leo might have made a move, but they're going to go back to A. Calix just now backing away. Smoke goes down. Calix should be aware of this position. There are no flashes here either. We could get a lineup. Legia in from above. 2 kills found. Calix finally traded, and Legia almost gets the kill, but it's all on KNG, and the AWP is in trouble. Thomas just drops down, takes the final kill. I think Mibr there just getting slowed down so much. They kind of try and go back to that A site, but the nades were never really there to make that successful.
Yeah, it's just slowed down enough with utility to force him into a plan C, which the CT's had better positions for, really. Just above that hut, so hard to deal with as you make your way through. 6-6 now. One player's timed out, so we'll have a brief delay before we get back into things. This is the pick of Mibr, Nuke. And they're not doing too shabby on the T side. It has been a sloppy, scrappy affair, whichever you prefer. But what ultimately matters, in the short term at least, is the score. Now, their money sucks at the moment, which is a godsend for Envy, in theory at the very least. Because this can allow them to really focus in on that 9 rounds on the CT side. That would be really helpful for them. See KNG there. Looks younger with that glasses on.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to say, I feel like he's seemingly started to lose his hair a little bit as he's become the IGL of the team, which
Wow.
probably makes sense. It's probably quite stressful. Again, though, I've got to give a lot of props to KNG for being willing to take on that role for the squad. I was never sure if he'd be the kind of guy who wanted to do that, but Kogu's saying he's watching all the demos. He's doing that for the team. And we appear to be back live. I hope Mibr have 5 players, James. I assume they do. Wait, do they?
No, they got 4 players.
Huh.
That's interesting.
Imagine
This
if
is
they win
new?
this round.
This is new?
Oh, wait. They do have 5.
They do
TRK
have
just
5.
died.
Okay, I couldn't see him on the. I was looking on the radar. And I
Yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
see him. The invisible man, not so invisible after all. No problem. 3 players remain for MIBR on this eco round. This is more or less a nothing round at this point. Indeed, it is. 1 on the board for Envy. And indeed, a player has disconnected now. Online Counter-Strike for you. I actually have, you know that Enjoy Coca-Cola advert? It's basically their logo, and it says like Enjoy on it somewhere.
Right.
Okay, or it says Enjoy Coke or something anyway. Someone made one. It was more for fighting games that says Enjoy Nets Play, which I have, but it's a bit too casual for broadcast, but I have it upstairs. So, there we go.
There you go. Maybe get it out for the blind spot.
Perhaps, yeah.
Perhaps.
Perhaps. Well, it's been a. I think the next 2 maps will be a lot stronger from both teams.
I hope so.
It's been a bumpy ride in this first half.
This is the map that MIBR were probably meant to be most well drilled on, is the scary thing. Because I've seen their Inferno be really rough a couple of times, especially on their banana holds. They were having a really hard time figuring out how to hold banana. Like a lot of the times MIBR were full committing all their nades to banana early and still dying early. And then in the other rounds, they were just playing super safe, but not quite together enough to trade. It was just looking a little disjointed from them. I think Overpass is the massive question mark for MIBR, because that was a map they were banning against almost everyone. And now they've left it in against Envy, who are a team that, at least in my assessment, when I look at Envy, I'd think Overpass would definitely be a map that would be in their pool. So I am wondering whether MIBR are just starting to get that Overpass in there, because we did hear Kogu in the pre-game interview saying they need to work on their map pool. That's the main thing they need to work on.
Yeah, and well, I think on every map in the short term, there's going to be a lot of problems for MIBR to deal with. But Overpass is, I think, with like some of the coordination stuff we're seeing, I wonder what they might look like on that map, but it may not be too long before we find out. So there we go. Everybody's back on the server now, and we are good to go. Well, the AKs are out for the most part for MIBR. TRK with the Galil. They've got the smokes and the flashes. They fixed the smokes, of course, since the beginning of this half. So if they do head towards B once again, I'm sure they'll have that extra smoke they needed that they were missing previously.
I would love to see something maybe even a little more aggressive from MIBR here. I think that's what they've been doing to a lot of success. They're throwing 4... Oh, no, they're not throwing 4 smokes at yard. They still have 2 left. What is this, though?
There's a giant gap, though. Again.
Oh, my.
Oh, this is rough. And this is what should happen when you're not throwing your smokes properly. This is bread and butter stuff. So someone has nosed it right up. And I'm not sure what else is there to say, really. It's a false start as far as smokes are concerned on Nuke for MIBR.
That's a nice kill from TRK. He's taken a lot of damage in the process, though. Yeah, there's really nothing we can say about that round other than, well, the outside smokes miss, and that cost them the round. Because they clearly... It looked like MIBR thought they'd figured out the yard smokes, because you see the first guy's just walking with his back turned, so he's fully expecting himself to be covered off there, and he simply was not.
Very expensive lessons to learn here. But that's the thing, there are so many smokes in this game as well. Like, you know, if you play the game regularly, you basically just have to sometimes sit down and just drill smokes just to make sure you remember them. And when you're learning them, you've got to throw them like 30 times in a row.
It looked like Calyx at least sprayed a couple through the smoke. Because from his angle, he didn't have as clear vision. But bad buy in the last round of the half for MIBR. This is not the start to this game they would have wanted, but they're going to speed things up on the A play.
Well, that's a quick shot miss from Nifty, and perhaps there's an opportunity here for Mibr. Maybe again there isn't, because Legia's cleaning house. It's essentially an anti-eco round. In the last round and a half, Mibr had opportunities to do more, but the grenades meant that they did a lot less. That's a gift horse for Envy, allowing them to get to 9 rounds because of, well, in part because of the errors from Mibr. We'll see what they look like on the CT side after the break.
Envy are a mystery to many. The organisation once housed the best team in the world, but that was half a decade ago, and those French players are long since gone. Now, the NA-based org again puts a European lineup into the server, but with players hailing from disparate origins. Polish entry fragger Mihu was once an addition to the legendary Virtus Pro and is a diligent adept of his role, but still searching for the team in which he can rack up Tier 1 placings. New recruit Thomas, a rare British talent to make it to this level, has been one of the year's breakouts, making a name for himself in Endpoint online. Perhaps the biggest name in the team is Turkey's Calix. One of the stars of Space Soldiers, he is known for a temperamental game which can be highly explosive when his aim is dialed in. The veteran and leadership elements of Envy come from American Nifty, who was part of Renegades previously, and former coach Legia, who is best known for his play in the big side that made top 8 at ESL One Cologne 2017. An unusual collection of
Hello, we are back. We have returned to Nuke. We're moving into the second half. The first half sucked. It was all over the place. It was a mess. I spilled tea on myself during that half, and it was still cleaner than what we saw in that first half of Nuke.
Nice. At least you're not wearing your all-white outfit today, James.
Yes.
That would have been a nightmare. Hopefully, this isn't as much of a nightmare half for both of these teams. I think Envy will be happy that they're in the lead. They're on their opponent's pick. They've done enough to get themselves into a good position. And we've got the dualies out. VSM plopping a smoke down, making sure that Envy can't push his position early. That is all the nades used by Envy early as well. And they're going to pop into this A-bomb site. Nifty coming in second, but the shots are landing. Leo's got 2 kills from the back lines. Still surviving here. Still alive somehow. Finally he falls. But KNG's on the flank, and surely he's about to lock this in. But Envy have made the right move. They're going down towards B. Only one of them makes it, but Calix turns around. How is he still alive? 4 HP. He finally falls, but Thomas has a chance.
He's given Thomas the space to move into a post-plant position. How he's alive, I don't know. Maybe panic in this pistol round. Mibr really need to win this, otherwise Envy might be heading for a 12-6 scoreline. We'll see how this angle plays out. You can see VSM moving in on the radar just around the corner, just to the left, edging forward now. Surely he won't be checking for this. There go the Julies. And now where is TRK? Oh, the smoke! It just bounced backwards. It didn't go towards the door. That's so unlucky. But what will it mean? Can he land the headshot? Thomas dies, closes the door as well. Very polite, good manners, got the defuse kit. And there is a much-needed pistol round for Mibr.
Yeah, much more difficult than it maybe needed to be after not finding that kill onto Calix. But Thomas not able to win the clutch this time round. Definitely a player I'm going to be looking at on this Envy lineup is Thomas. He was having a really good tenure in Endpoint. And I think it was Glaive who said in an interview a few months ago that the Tier 2 and Tier 3 EU teams are at a really high level. So for him to be playing well on an Endpoint lineup that we're doing pretty well in some of these online games, I'd love to see what he can do coming into Envy, a team that's already got a lot of skilled players on its roster. Right now, though, it's Envy who are trying to bounce back, and Calix has already got the first kill with the Galil. There are a couple of AKs here for Envy as well. This is a very dangerous force buy.
Nifty just having a hop around outside. He has some support as well. We could see Mibr looking to put in some work outside. Clean headshot onto KNG. And they move forward quickly. One in the garage. Uh-oh, Nifty's got problems now. His teammates are dying around him, and he's only got a scout to try and fight with. His teammates are moving elsewhere. They're not protecting the weapons. Thomas and Legia, you can see them waiting for instructions in the lobby, and down they go, maybe towards the B-bomb site. Well, this is going to be a hairy one. They don't have any utility, and Legia only has a Desert Eagle. Meanwhile, we've got 2 rifles and an SMG for Mibr. VSM waiting to open the door. There it is. Double peek, and it's 1-for-1. 46 seconds for Thomas to try and clutch. Question is, where is the second player? Oh boy, 1 bullet through that door, and who knows? Plan for decon. Nobody's home. They are together by double doors now. Full health, Thomas, but how many bullets does he have? 13 to take out both players. There's a first one. A transfer is here as well. UK man's on deck, and double figures for Envy.
Couldn't win the last one, but he gets it this time. Mibr committed everyone towards Yard to stop that play from happening, and as soon as Envy realized they could quickly subvert expectations, get down to that B-bomb site, they made sure to do it. Thomas there nearly getting the double kill to begin with, but just that slight move behind Silo allows him to pull out his gun, allows him to transfer the spray, and Legia is loving it. He's hyped right now.
That cushion doesn't go with the couch.
That's what you're focused on.
Yeah, man, there's a lot of contrast going on there. I don't know how I feel about it. Well then, Mibr will start the CT side in the worst way possible. Both teams have won their CT pistols. However, Mibr are the only ones to have been reset afterwards. VSM with the MP9 and a bunch of pistols. The odd smoke, just the 1 flashbang. Now, do Envy start a slow approach to give Mibr a chance to make a play and then respond to that? Or they take an anti-eco position in the lobby? Or will they go fast towards ramp or A sites? 4 of the, I think they're going into A. Looks like Mihu's throwing grenades from the outside. Well, they start into A. Some punctures through Squeaky Door. I'm not sure if the plan was for Calix to run down the vent. I imagine it was. He will not be successful. So the early play versus the anti-force buy fails for Envy, and now it's a 4 versus 5 in favor of the force buying Mibr.
Oh, Leo trying to reposition. Thomas hasn't taken his chance, though. Another gun dropped, this time an AK, which could be recovered. Legia's trying to see if he can just hold this door position, and Mihu's also on the flank. This might be the man to make the difference. Legia's just burned the first player alive, and Mihu sneaking in has now been spotted. They don't have to commit to this A site either. They should be aware there are probably a couple of CTs here, but Envy are happy to go for it. They know the position, so they're going to try and move in. Nifty not looking the right way, though. Leo might have a chance, but Nifty finally turns round, and this should be the round turned on its head. Nifty making sure to get 2 important kills. He's been caught. Spray back from Legia isn't successful. KNG with 2 kills, and now it's up to Mihu to make this happen. He's not got the bomb, and he might not have a chance. He has to win this first fight, which he does. VSM is also pushing through Hut, though, and Mihu turns round, but not in time. VSM wins it with the MP9, and it is all over the place at the start of this second half.
The anarchy continues, it seems. No consecutive rounds won yet. That was absolute madness. Again, the fast play from Envy. Risk sacrificing a player to go down Squeaky rather. Go down the vent through Squeaky against the force buy. Failed, then Thomas lurking alone, gave up a rifle. Which they did manage to control with a Molotov, but it just went from bad to worse, and now they find themselves on the pistols. However, Envy haven't gone for the full force buy. They're not going to go back and forth. Some deagles picked up. At this juncture, there are no grenades for Envy. Just trying to do some damage. Now, if they have the AKs out in the next round, they'll have a much better buy than Mibr, which is maybe why they've chosen this option. Thomas being hunted on the outside, some bonus money with the SMG kill for Leo. That leaves Nifty to die towards the ramp. A clean round for Mibr. That will give them some money in the hole, the slightest of buffers. Now we'll see what Envy choose to do. Not everybody can have an AK-47 in this round.
Ooh, they might only get 2. Yeah, only 2 AKs. A couple of other players could have bought them, but we know how important the smokes are on Nuke. If you want to go for those secret plays, for example, and when you've got a scout, you probably are playing it slower. So they've emphasized getting a little more utility with those Galils in there. That means the firepower will take a slight hit. Nifty looking for a gap in the smoke early. All smokes used early by Envy in this round. They've got to do something with these smokes fast. It's the deep smokes to try and get themselves into garage. They're taking a lot of time here, though. KNG slowed them down from above. If Envy aren't careful, those smokes might start fading soon.
Yeah, but they've thrown him correctly. That's a plus. Mihu running in blind. KNG stuck with the FAMAS, and here's where their weapon superiority comes into play. I believe the Galil's armor penetration is better than the M4A4 as well. VSM on the outside. Some jiggling, trying to get a 1v1, but he can't get the kill. And this just forces the hand of the remaining players yet more. They've got to try and find an opening. If Leo just sits here, surely he's a sitting duck. You can see Lucas making plays by secret. But in a 3 versus 5, you'd expect trade fraggers. Now, this is awkward for Envy as well, because Mihu, Calix, and Nifty are all very low health. So if one player swings in for the second play to trade, he might die as well at this rate. So it's still a hairy round for both teams.
Mihu staying away from the rest of the pack. Envy not with many nades here. If they end up lining up, that could be pretty bad for them. I don't know if they have any clue that Mihu's still here, though. Oh, it's going to be back-turned. Mihu gets a free kill, low on health, and I think that might just be the difference maker. Mibr still have 2 players here, but TRK loses the fight, and even though Leo's got the first kill, he shouldn't get too many more. Oh, he's got a second. Leo maybe has a chance. The Deagle out, but Nifty's able to land the shot to the body. Envy coming right back with a round win of their own. And now the question is, can Mibr buy into this next one? The money for both teams has never really been built up with how this game has been playing so far.
Yeah, that was pretty scary towards the end as well. Again, with the low health on so many players, who knows what could have happened there. I don't know how many rounds, like solid rounds from either team, I would say that we have seen so far. However, the grenades are absolutely on point for Envy, at least as far as the smokes are concerned. Those are clean, which is nice to see. A timeout from Envy at present, which is just about to expire. Again, back to winning ways are Envy. 2 rounds to the good at present on the T side, 11-9. First map of this series. Mibr now with the M4A4s out. No FAMASs in this particular round, so one might argue they have a better buy than before. But then so do Envy. More AKs out, just the 1 Galil with Thomas. Mihu 23 for 10 at present. We'll see what he can add to that. KNG 8 for 16. We will need him to improve those in the CT side. But first, they need an economy in order to buy an AWP. Got some aggression from Mibr in the lobby. Now, will TRK outstay his welcome? In fact, they realize that the whole of Envy are outside. Envy have no position because Mibr know exactly where they are, so they can just post up wherever they want to.
Yeah, they're having to throw these smokes on the fly as well on the Envy side, which isn't as easy. You can see Legia at least getting a smoke for main. Oh, that smoke on the right side of Garage is maybe slightly missed. But it's okay. Envy have got the yard control. The response from Mibr, though, is actually to have 2 players down secret. Lucas is going to spot early. He gets the information. It's Envy, though, that are trying to wrap round in towards Heaven, in towards Hell, and they're going to be flanked here. Leo's coming up from secret. Easy kill from behind. Now Envy could get picked apart. It's just chaos. Fights happening all over the place, and Mihu turns it round into a 2v2. VSM dropping down while Calix goes up. It continues. But it's Calix who wins the fight, and it's TRK who opened up the round, who has to try and close it.
Dude, these fights are absolutely bonkers. It's also hilarious to watch Leo Drunky because he wants to swing 24/7. That guy does not have a backwards key. It's forward, left or right. Mihu caught a grenade in his hand, but where is Calix? Looking upstairs, but Calix is lurking down. There he is. Oh, that's the perfect timing from TRK. Another completely bananas round, back and forth affair, which is won by the skin of their teeth. This is the most bizarre game of Nuke. It's the most bizarre, but I'm enjoying it. It's great.
Quite bizarre indeed.
Look at this swing. He's just out there afterwards like, whoop, I want to go for a kill. Trades continue. How do you even call in a situation where like everybody's outside or swinging outside like that? It's nuts.
I'm always surprised we didn't see more of those aggressive plays from Leo on the T side. Because in the games I've seen him play on Nuke, he's been going for all sorts of flanks through heaven, pushes down secret early, trying to be that sort of space creator for the team. I think we didn't see as much of that from Mibr on their T side. But now that they're on their CT side, they may be able to wrestle back control of this game. Quick note as well, you pointed out that KNG is bottom of the board for Mibr. The same can be said for Envy in that Nifty, their AWPer, is also bottom of the board. Quite rare to see a Nuke game where both AWPers are struggling, but I guess with how this game has been going, they haven't had the AWP as much as they would want, either of them.
Yeah. Pistols for Envy once again. The eco rather than the force buy. Mihu and Calix outside. Legia trying to creep. Lucas has got the AUG in the garage. And Calix has got the mini AWP and the Deagle. So there's something. But a bomb's been lost towards the ramp. VSM with some bonus money with the MP9 kills. MP9, very strong CT weapon. I actually never buy the UMP.
Oh, same.
Because I just go straight for the MP9 every single time.
Yeah. MP9 is great. I wish I knew the spray just a little bit better, because it shoots so fast that the spray pattern just kind of starts going all over the place. But if you're close range, you're fine.
If you need to spray, then your aim's not good enough.
that's one way.
Because you're either close range. A lot of people go for like the burst, like 3, 4, 5 bullets with the MP9 if necessary. KNG has the AWP, worth noting. And he's heading towards the ramp. Round 23, 11 apiece. See if Mibr can stabilize now. If this game will have some normalcy in it. Calix up top, not with the Deagle this time, but with the AK-47.
Oh, Mibr are pushing again. They've got a couple of players pushed into ramp right now. KNG's having a look at lobby. They're just going to leave this all posted on this angle. That's going to give Mibr a ton of information early in this round. Smokes down towards Yard. Mibr can start to react, and there's the kill from KNG. Now Envy are going to feel pressured. They probably realize they've lost lobby. They kind of have to go down to this B site. And Mibr are a little slow to react. Finally dropping down the vents. VSM is the man here, but he's not ready.
Oh, that's difficult to watch. They know he's stuck in the vent somewhere, and that might buy time for rotation. Oh, God, surely somebody's watching this! 4 on 4. KNG with the angle. Right side of the ramp. Control room is smoked off, and the flank is coming. Leo just walks to his doom there, and Lucas will trade. That's the bomb! And now they've got to come back, Envy. Do they have to go up the site? Mibr could even push the B-bomb site potentially here while this is happening. Another crazy round. 38 seconds on the clock. All of Envy outside the double doors of B and Control. And all of Mibr are upstairs. Lucas making his way down, as is KNG. There is a smoke on Calix to try and get a bomb plant here. But how long will they wait? 23 seconds on the clock. And again, Mibr not really in position. KNG's been mollied off. Wallbang shot would be nice. They make their way down now. 10 seconds to plant the bomb. KNG patiently waiting in that smoke. No shot taken.
No fights given to him just yet. Envy all sitting back in patient positions. Mibr are the ones that have to go first. KNG's looking at the right spot right now. Oh, the swing comes out, but KNG misses his chance. Thankfully, TRK's got 2 kills in the back lines. Make it a third. TRK just rips them to shreds on the retake. I'm so impressed by what we're seeing from TRK. Just individually, I feel like we never got to see this sort of play from him on the old roster, but he's come out swinging. I was looking at the stats, actually. He's been the highest rated player for Mibr since they've switched to this lineup. He's been doing great things, and that 3K must have been very nice.
Yeah, that's a nice way to spur on the squad. Nuke the pick of Mibr. They really need to win this one. And they are hyped for every round they secure. Back and forth affair continues. Envy with a lot of utility. Still an eco round for them as the loss bonus rises. Will they be trying to quickly make their way down the vent? Leo Drunky will have something to say about it. Some grenades on the outside to distract, perhaps. Looks like they're trying to draw Mibr to defend the outside, maybe to weaken the hold around Squeaky. But Mibr being patient at the moment. Look at these grenades flying in now. Lucas has been isolated. Leo Drunky on the other side, focusing on A, but a spray down is here. TRK and KNG, lovely taps, and Legia will be the last one to drop. 1 kill in that eco round from Envy. Mibr 3 rounds away from their pick of Nuke. From winning their pick of Nuke.
Yeah, they finally got the big guns out. And it's been working out for them. Nice spray from TRK there. The most important thing in that round is just getting a couple of those early kills before Envy can start to swarm the site. So the fact that TRK just gets 1 or 2 kills early means that Mibr are in much better stead. Everyone can start to have the awareness on the Mibr side. They can all start to look that way. And Envy just never get the chance to create the chaos that they needed to. So a lot of credit needs to go to TRK for that one. Now into this round, it's really a must-win for Envy. And this is where I am worried for Envy, that they are just going to continue to just pump the brakes. This is what we saw when they had that close game against Fours. They started to really slow down and just start to play defaults. But that's what they've been doing in this game, and it hasn't really been working. I like the pace change. The dry peak, not going to work, though. VSM gets the early kill. KNG rotating in, but they're going to be able to get up close here. KNG is going to have to land a very close range shot if Mihu rounds the corner. The flash comes through. KNG still not pulling the trigger, though. He's going to get away.
Yeah, the VSM's coming back into an aggressive position. We can see Mihu in an unorthodox position to try and catch a re-aggression. And there comes VSM, but he's just not going all the way. 50 seconds, and if Envy aren't given something, they're going to have to make a play eventually. Mihu now looking to jiggle a little. KNG up the ladder, VSM delaying. If they caught off, no scope for KNG as Mihu takes position. 39 seconds. There is a smoke along with other utility for Envy to try and help them get a bomb plant. Quietly going up the ladder. We can see TRK on the inside, Lucas on the outside. The other two positioned towards B. Now TRK, we saw him get a multi-frag in the previous round. Now Envy are really running this clock down. They've got a flashbang. Oh, that's a beautiful... Oh no, it's a team. It's a suicide from Thomas. He cratered with the spray from TRK. Didn't quite make it as far as they wanted to. Well, some did, but very painfully.
That's something else I talk about with TRK, is I feel like he's so good at just getting one more kill than you'd expect. I'd probably expect him to get 1 kill and get traded there, but he somehow manages to make it a 2nd kill, and those are the plays that can win you the game. Speaking of plays that can win you the game, KNG, that was very nice.
Ooh. Love a crater.
Oh, what's the call for Envy?
Yeah.
Big call here.
That was a big round for them. That previous one. And it was unsuccessful. Mibr, maybe they can't be stopped at this point. Only 2 rounds in this half for Envy thus far. They've just taken their second last timeout, Envy. And it will be a forced buy. The Scout is out again. Way more Scout than AWP in this game. Maybe overall. I think we've just seen a lot more Scout in total, not even just for one team.
Could be the case. We've seen quite a few Scouts. Nifty getting one this time, as you so rightfully pointed out. A couple of players on Envy without head armor even. Thomas and Mihu having to sacrifice that to make sure they have the full nades. And Nifty's still looking for fights. He may have the Scout, but he's not going to be counted out of this round. KNG with the AWP on the other side of things. Nade going into the door early. Smoke to follow for Leo. The yard looks to be going the way of Envy. Mihu's able to sneak up close. Now, Lucas has got Secret in his control. If the smokes start to come through, though, that's where Lucas is actually quite committed to this position, and he might have problems getting away safely. Those smokes are now being lined up as well. Mihu puts the first one down. Flash in for Lucas, though. That's what they needed to do. Proactive play gets him an early fight. He gets the quick kill, and now Envy have been stopped in their tracks. They've left the bomb behind as well. This is not a good look for Envy right now.
Yeah, this is surely where it gets buggy for them, and they've got to just find an entry, find a way to force their way in, but no. KNG survives the first test. Leo plays off the distraction, which leaves Calix and Nifty in a 2 versus 5. Lucas still defending secret. Nifty waiting for the peak. TRK with another unorthodox angle. And looks to clean up Nifty as well. TRK with the multi-frags has been very key for MIBR in this game of Nuke. And now they find themselves on game point. 6 rounds in a row for MIBR. And Envy've got 3,500 average. This is not going to be an easy task for them. They are only 4 rounds away, but they've only won 2 rounds in this half.
I think something that Envy need to incorporate on this T side of Nuke is just a few faster rounds. Because I just think MIBR always seem to be able to get the drop on them. We're never really seeing a fast A play, a fast secret play to really try and put the pressure on MIBR early. Because MIBR are also a relatively new roster. If you go fast, you might catch those rotations out, and that's what we're finally seeing. Calyx gets that first kill. That must have been a ridiculous shot, but Lucas is able to trade, and here comes Legia sneaking out towards the A site. Lucas has no clue. Oh, this could get deadly. Legia looking for the fight. TRK drops down, but Legia wins the battle. And now Leo also hitting the deck. Envy finally fighting back. They inject a little bit of pace into the play, and it looks to net them another round.
Yeah, this could be the opportunity Envy really needed. VSM gets his bell rung. There is some money for MIBR after this round. We'll see what VSM chooses to do. 1 versus 3. All 3 players for Envy on the site really have to try and get himself a 1 versus 1, and they will make it as awkward as possible. Thomas showing a little. Legia's low health. Oh, he gets his bell rung again. That's 2 headshots through the wall, and that's too many for him. Try to back away, but Thomas will deny him. Now, if Envy can win the next round, who knows? Maybe overtime, the prospect of overtime will be a lot easier for them. But MIBR, again, they've got money to buy for this round at the very least.
Could even see a second AWP. Yeah, we are going to see a second AWP. VSM has been playing ramp so far. He's picked up that secondary sniper. That was a really nice scout shot from Nifty. Important kill to be able to get them towards A. But here comes the double AWP setup from MIBR. I'm definitely intrigued to see whether one of them's going to go aggressive early. It looks like KNG's just running to the red container. VSM's playing top
Oh
hut.
my god.
Damn.
Now that is an impressive position. That is a painful lesson to learn for Mihu. How on earth is KNG here? MIBR looking comfortable in possibly the last round of the game. Lucas has been dropped outside. They know KNG still lurks. He has more rifle support, however. And Envy are not really in a position to do anything elsewhere. Down Legia goes through the box. Actually, I say that, but Thomas has found an opening onto VSM as he makes his way back into the lobby. Running to ramp now, reading that there's probably help for KNG towards the outside. And maybe the ramp is the way they win this round.
Yeah, maybe they realized VSM is that ramp player, so getting him out of the round, ramp's likely clear. They're going to start to move down towards B. MIBR still not rotating just yet. They may hear that smoke though, but they're going for the flank.
Oh, it's the bomb.
Oh, okay. We're fine for now.
Oh.
Are we fine though?
Oh my god. I mean, what if they see nothing?
My God.
They could go down towards the B bomb site. This is insane. This is absolutely wild. I think TRK, yeah, he's peeking out. He's peeking out on there in heaven. They've got no idea that this is beautiful timing in favor of Envy. However, there are 2 players for MIBR upstairs, so there's still more work to be done. KNG by Squeaky looking up, but they're down already. Bomb being planted. Trying to defend main. He's convinced somebody must be upstairs. That molly's missed completely. That would have been a tell, even based off the sound cue only. Looking for the jump peak now. TRK makes his way upstairs. Where are all the Envy players? Leo Drunky trying to run distraction, and it's going to be TRK, of course, with the opening kill. There's a kill on Leo Drunky as well. Now it's down to Nifty. He can't do it. It will be 16 rounds for MIBR. They take their pick of Nuke.
They do in the end. It was not clean, not comfortable, but it's a win for MIBR. That's all that matters for them. They'll be celebrating that one. Up next, though, Overpass, a map we haven't seen from this MIBR roster. We really have a big question to answer as to how they're going to play on that map. I think for MIBR's sake, they're going to be happy with the win. They may not be happy with the performance, but when you're in a loser's game like this, look, you've just got to grind out the win. You've got to grind out the rounds, and they just about did it. Yeah,
it was a very difficult game for both teams, but MIBR won their pick, and that's going to be important for them, of course, with a very young map pool and a young team. So we'll see what they can do in the coming maps after the break.